Well, back to work again today. Another day, another series of things to do. Today it's chicken feed time. I made a run to our convenience center, it's called. It's where you take your trash. So I did that this morning, grabbed some gas for my tractors, lawnmowers, that type of thing, and now this. So here's our scratch feed for the chicken. I've got some laying pellets, layer pellets I should say, and I'll get that. I've got that already in place, and I've got probably a couple of months worth of feed for them, and this will give me probably 2 months worth of scratch. So got that going on right now. I've got to take this and convert that into food in the cans for the chickens. There we go, the empty bags. Some of my chickens here. They make a mess. I don't know how much of that food is actually necessary. These containers, I'll probably mention this in another video, but these containers, which are food grade containers with a seal, got a rubber gasket in the lid. Things are fantastic. You talk about keeping out moisture and keeping predators out, not predators, keeping scavengers out, you know, raccoons and that type of thing. These work great. So can't recommend them highly enough. You can put 2.5 bags of grain in there, which would probably be, what, 125 pounds or something like that. So pretty nice, worked well. Well, the problem du jour is my Gravely 8-lead, professional 8-lead, is suffering. When I put it up, when I mowed with it last time, ran great. I parked it out and finished up with my Dixie chopper, and then I started it to pull it in the shop, and it was missing. It just wasn't running correctly. So you'll hear this when I start it up. So you can hear that. You can hear that, and it's absolutely not running well. What I have found, this is not going to be a problem that I fixed today, by the way. It's the problem of the day, but I got other things that I got to get done, so I don't have the time to dedicate to it, which is generally the issue. When I pop this spark plug out, I've already been through this, so I know what I'm going to find. This spark plug looks to be wet. This one's wet, and my other one on the other side is not. And this one has a very heavy, very strong gas scent, so you can see it's wet there. So it's not burning fuel in this cylinder. I'm going to take a look at it and see if I can figure out if there's any damage in the cylinder. It made a kind of a rattle, and that was all she wrote. So may have dropped a valve, who knows. But I'm going to take a quick look at it with my borescope, and we'll see what we got. And I did take a look at it with the borescope. No idea what's going on. A lot of carbon on the piston, but everything looks good, so I'm going to have to tear into it a little further. No time to do that today, though. Here's another project that I'm working on. My mom had this little box. I'm sure this was nothing fancy. It was very utilitarian. You can see it's very rough cut, but I like it. I like it. Somewhere, and you can see I got some wood glue there, and it's probably going to have to be cleaned a little bit more, but I don't care. It's just going to be rough, and that's fine. Rough cut here. It's been just out in the shop and out in garages and tossed around. There was somewhere a little bit of a logo on one of the sides, but you could not make it out. So at any rate, I'm going to use this as just a box that I can hang up in my office and display things on. It may have books in it. It may have some other types of things, but I'm not going to leave it out here. And then I also have a horse collar that came from my grandpa. I'm going to hang that up probably in my office as well. You can see this has just been sat out and stained. I've cleaned it, so it is clean, and it's going to be strong enough for what I want. And just wanted to share that with you. Pretty neat old box from my perspective. I love what it is, even though it's nothing fancy. Well, another day here, and I got a project to do. You know, a lot of times you have honeydew projects. I've got a honeydew for today. My wife is a crocheter. My project today entails 1/4-inch rod and this piece of wood. So I'll bring you along. We'll see if I can show you what the goal is, and we'll try to cut things out and make it happen here today. And here's the final project. It is some sort of a pegboard that you use to stake out your squares for crochet. And so this would be indicative of where you'd loop the crochet loops around there. You'd stack them up and let them dry and let everything kind of flatten. Now this was a junk piece of board. I had it's all very soft wood that's been glued together, just chunks and bits and pieces. I had it, I don't even know where I got it. I don't know what it was ever intended to be used for, but it's really soft. So there's a lot of tear out. Doesn't look very good, but it'll suffice. It will work. And so that's the project. Here are the 1/4-inch dowels, and I think it'll be fine. But I made 3 of these for her, and I think she said the price that she was looking at on Etsy was somewhere between $50 and $70 a piece. I spent way too much time on them because I was trying to find a way to do it without having all the tear out, and it was impossible. I don't have a countersink bit. I'm not a woodworker, but I think overall it looks okay. And like I say, nobody's going to see it but her anyway, I guess, and those of you who are watching the video. So this is part of what I've been busy working on, and you know, it's just always a little project here and there and different things to do. Well, the day has kind of slipped away. It's 7:30 in the evening here. I took care of the project for my wife. Not to my standards, not what I would like, but as they say, it's when people ask if it's good, you say it's better than good. It's done. So it's done, and I'm okay with that. Just looking at my big ash tree here. This is not a big ash tree, but a big ash tree, ASH. I think it's a white ash, but dropped a limb last night in a storm, and I'm a little concerned about it. I'll show you why. So you can see up there, sorry for the wind, it's really blowing. You can see up there that there's some spots that look dead. Right up there. There's a couple spots. Looking a little dead in a few areas. This is the first year that it's done that, and I have been just perpetually concerned about it. I've been concerned because these ash trees are being wiped out by some sort of a beetle. This is one of the few in the area that hasn't just been decimated. I'm sure it's just a matter of time. I was hoping it would be a long time, but I'm growing increasingly concerned about it. And it may be near the end of its life. I hope not. It's a beautiful tree. Normally really full and looking good. It's not so full now. You can see up here it's not as full as it was, but concerned, and I guess we'll see how it plays out. But got my wife's project done. I'm going to work on a King Cutter 5-foot bush hog that I have, 5-foot rotary cutter that I have, that I picked up. My cousin gave it to me, and I want to see what I can do to get it running. Well, this is my 5-foot King Cutter, I believe it is. It says right there. Yep, that's a King Cutter. From somewhere in Alabama, not sure where. Don't remember. But you can see it's seen better days. It's got rust all over the place here. The blades have beaten just the garbage out of it here. A lot of dirt sitting there. It belonged to my cousin, whose husband passed away about 5 years ago. And he bought it used a couple years before that. You can see that it's beaten the top of this up, and it's had some other things welded onto it over the years. Got a different gearbox. Not sure if that's any good. But the thing I'm going to be concerned about here today Number one, this whole thing's got to be lubricated somehow. Normally there should be a grease fitting I would expect on there. I guess there is one right there. No longer on there, but I'm going to check it out. There's a grease fitting on this wheel, but you can see that the wheel, when you turn the wheel, the whole shaft turns, so the axle turns. Not a good thing. So I need to look at that and see if we can break that loose, get it lubed up. We'll also see if we can put a grease zerk in here and get that going. And I need to do a little bit of work on the blades, which look pretty good, amazingly. And we'll go from there. Now this is not going to be a work of art. It's not going to be a showpiece. I'm going to use it to trim in spots that my 6-foot cutter won't get to. It'll be intended for a little more rough use. My 6-footer I use on my fields. You can see that this 5-footer is just perfect for my 135. The 6-footer is a little heavy for this 135. It'll pick that front end right up on hills and things, so you have to drive it with the brakes. But this one I think will be good for this and for my other 135. My 50 I'll eventually, when I get a little bit of work done on that, then the 50 I'll use with my 6-footer. So that's kind of where we are right now. Let's see what I can figure out here in the next half hour. So I'm going to not do very much. I'll do about a half hour with it maybe. Okay, progress update. Got this thing kind of between a rock and a hard place here with my pipe wrenches. But if you'll watch, now this stays put, but the wheel will turn. So I got it broken loose. I used a little seafoam deep creep on this. And this stuff works pretty well. I've got a whole bunch of ants up here, so I'm going to have to haul them back out here in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and grease this up and see if it'll take grease. I'll give you a progress update here in a minute. So there was at least partial success today. I got the wheel freed up. Can't get an Alamite to fit that grease fitting hole there. And I've got to do some checking. Well, I've greased it to within 1 inch of its life. There's grease. You can see grease, maybe, right around there. There's grease there. There's some grease there around that side. There's some grease on the Alamite there. That'll work, I think. And as long as I keep it greased up, it should stay freed up. You got to put grease on things, people. And if you leave it sitting outside, clean it off, because a lot of this rust probably would have been avoided. Let me see if I can get an Alamite installed here. We'll see if I can get this to work. I was not able to get it to work, so we'll have to get back to that one later. I will bring you along for the extra work and the other things I'm going to do and the first use and all of that. But for today, everything's all wrapped up here on It's a Doc's Life. Until I see you again, endeavor to persevere.